Yeah. Not just
Well,
here.
that's good. That's nice to hear. So, welcome everyone to She Comes First. I'm Stacy,
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Alexandria.
and this week we're going to talk. It's a special episode, actually. We're not only going to talk about Small Town Big Rumors by Willow Winters, but we're also going to have Willow on the show.
Woo!
Woo! Our first guest. What?
We should have had little confetti noises at that moment. Been like, whatcha, whatcha.
Exactly. So, what did we think about this one, gals?
I liked it. So we should point out that we read Small Town Big Rumors. So we read it as like the duet that Willow has published, but they are as a duet. So there's 2 books that we read. So we read Tequila Rose and Autumn Night Whiskey. No, y'all help.
Autumn Night Whiskey, isn't it?
Yes, you got it. That's the one. So yeah,
and
so
they call me the virgin when it comes to romance novels.
Expert level.
But yes, just wanted to point that out that it is a duet that we read.
Yes, and this book is about a girl, Magnolia, who gets broken up by her boyfriend, has an encounter with someone, and then kind of go fast forward, her life evolves and they find each other again. If I can very loosely, I don't want to give away the whole plot because it's definitely worth the read.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, some of my questions are going to be spoilers, though. So, spoiler alerts.
Oh, okay.
We start with spoilers, just to let everyone know that there's a chance that you might get spoiled, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You should still read it, even if you hear some of the answers, because it's so good. Like, I feel like I've never read 2 books so fast in my life.
I was very impressed.
Yeah, these 2 were speed readers. I was a little bit slower, but that's just because my old age, my Arctic comics. If you can't see me, I'm growing my hair in so you can actually see my white/gray.
And she looks fabulous.
And I'm going to be a silver sister. So shout out to all my other silver sisters.
Oh. So what did you love the book? Hate it? Love it? Like it?
Oh, I really liked it. I gave both of the books, I'm pretty sure, 4 stars. Like, I thought they were great books.
Me too.
Definitely. Yeah, it was really good. And there were some moments I was like, oh, is it going to go down this path? Mm-hmm. So she kept you on, can I say the edge of your seat? Even though
that's definitely very Willow style too, is definitely keeping you like on edge and being like, what the hell's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly.
You never knew.
Soph,
okay.
We jump into the, she's always got good questions. I should preface this too, that Soph always makes a point to like prepare questions in advance. And then she's asking us if we want to preview them. And I'm like, absolutely not.
Like to be prepared.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
Okay. So, spoiler alerts from here on. Just fair warning. Okay. Starting with the big question. Are you team Robert, who is her ex, who broke up with her, but then wants her back? Or are you team Brody, who is the mysterious man she hooked up with in the bar and then wanders back into her life like 4 years later? And why are you whose team? This is like Twilight vibes also.
Honestly, I was team Brody from the beginning but it's hard though, because in the beginning, like book 1, I was like, Robert's a dick, like get out of here. Like I remember texting the group and being like, I am not about this guy at all. And like Brody was just adorable, and like he was quiet, but he was brooding, but he was still so sweet. And then Robert magically came back in and he was like, and somehow in book 2 he kind of turned a little bit and you kind of felt bad for him, and I was like, and I was like, why am I feeling bad for you when I didn't like you in the first book? And yeah, but still, regardless, in all, like Brody was still like chef's kiss. He was definitely the one I leaned towards.
I know, I'd have to agree. Stace, what about you?
So I was definitely team Brody in Tequila Rose. But then as you evolve and you get to learn Robert's story, I was like, oh, now it's complicated, right? Because
love triangle.
Yeah, basically like he's Magnolia's, high school sweetheart, and they have this really strong connection, and because he's looking to get into politics, Daddy, asks to have them break up. And I think, I felt sorry for him. And I think it begs the question that should one be in a relationship because you pity the other person, or should you be in a relationship because it's love?
That
And
is so
You know,
yeah. And so like I feel like in the end, her choice is the right choice to
yeah.
make.
It
I
is
agree.
the right choice, even if it's kind of like the more heartbreaking choice.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Robert and her
exactly.
had so much history and connection and like still love for each other. And like Brody's kind of like the new guy on scene, but like they just had a stronger love connection.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of connection there too, right? Outside of just between the two of them, there was also a whole other ballpark there that was definitely something hard to deal with, right? Like that's forever. Like there is not like no way getting out of that one. So that was definitely a whole other connection on a whole other level.
But going back to Brody, I'm just going to interrupt the question taking, and I'm going to share a song that just kind of like evokes the Brody vibe so our audience can understand why we were Team Brody. So 1 second here.
Absolutely.
All right. Can you guys hear this all right? Yeah. Awesome.
We can.
Last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, something's telling me this ain't over.
And it wasn't over yet.
I
That
love
first line is their story.
It's just perfect. I always like literally like I have this like tradition now where I sit in my living room and I put on the radio. Yes, I'm old, the radio. And I put it to like the country music station that's local to here. And I'm making connections with like the lyrics of the song with the words I'm reading on the page. And when I heard this song and I was reading Willow's book, I was just like, yeah. Boom.
Together. I agree. That first line, like last night we let the liquor talk. I'm like, that's how the book started. Like, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a nerd that way, I guess, but
oh no, I have to listen. I listen to music while I'm reading too, and I love like that's a major thing though in the romance community. Like, there's authors out there that create playlists based on their books, so that you can actually like having music there invokes that emotion that's going through the books too, right? So
very much so.
I definitely think that having music and that connection to a book that you're reading is so good.
I can only listen to music like quietly though when I'm reading. Like it needs to be like really in the background, or else I'm like double focused. Oh gosh,
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah,
maybe when you get to my vintage,
I'll be able to.
That there could be like a full blown like disaster happening outside, and I won't pay attention, so I can have my music on, no problem, and full blast. I'll be like, "This is a good book."
Yes.
You are crazy.
Yeah,
Okay, so biggest spoiler alert. Who did you think the dad was gonna be?
I was on edge
Until the end.
This was so stressful for me.
Okay, when Magnolia's friend says that it's Robert's, my heart dropped.
Me too.
Like, no, all this stuff has happened. She's changed so much. She's evolved as a person, and now she's gonna have this. She will she'll always have a connection to Robert, but she's gonna really have to have a connection with this dude. I was like, ugh. And then I was like, anyway.
And then you just got to get like 2 more pages, and you're like,
and then it's like, thank you.
Yes.
I was like genuinely like, oh, it's Robert. Like, there's the answer. Like, I was like, oh no.
I know.
Yeah.
Willow completely threw us for a loop there because I was like, oh my god, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Like no. The whole time leading up, though, I really thought it was gonna be Brody's for some reason. I feel like because I don't know, like it's like what are the odds that it's the guy who she's sleeping with for months, if not years? It's like, okay, it never happened before. It probably didn't happen then, but then she just like hooks up with this new guy, and I'm like,
and then to have him come back into her life and it not be his, it would be so like because at that point, like, does she need Brody in that instance? Like, yeah, she has the connection, but then there's also the history with Robert. And I feel like if it would have been his kid, it would have been like it really would have been like, oh my God, what's happening here?
I know. I feel like she would have chosen Robert, and then
I
Brody.
honestly, I think so too. And we could ask Willow and be like, like,
Yes, that's a reminder for our audience. In a few short minutes, we'll have Willow on the show with us here, and we'll be able to ask her some questions.
yes.
And if we've missed any questions that you would like us to ask Willow after the show, please add a comment or send us a message, and we'll be more than happy to find out those answers for you.
For sure.
But Stacey, who did you think the baby daddy was going to be?
In my heart of hearts, I felt like it was going to be Brody.
Yeah.
But when that scare happened, I was like, oh God.
And then when Willow was trying to make you pity Robert a bit more, I was like, maybe it's going to be Robert. And
she's setting it up.
Yeah.
That was the worst part, was the fact that you actually started to like feel bad for Robert, and you were like, shit, like, who is it? And it was like,
yes.
Stress.
No.
Stress. Oh. But did we say the outcome? No, we didn't, I don't think.
Oh, I mean, it's pretty, I feel like
I mean,
and the baby daddy was, that was a drum roll.
It's like My Price is Right. It was Brody's.
Our man Brody.
I just love the way that one was drum roll, one was like a game show. It was just great.
Yeah, am I really dating myself? Do you guys remember that?
The Price is Right? Yeah, I watched it with my grandma.
Actually, fun fact, my daughter's first word was Bob, because when my daughter was really little, I call those like Jolly Jumper things the circle of neglect. I would throw her in there, and then I'd throw in Price is Right because it would keep her attention, because all the flashing lights and the music and everything. And I stepped out of the room for a minute, came back, and she's jumping up and down going, Bob, Bob, Bob. And I'm like, this cannot be your first word.
That is hilarious.
Your daughter's first word was Bob.
Yeah. Not mom, not dad.
Bob. Raised her.
All right, so what's our next question?
Next question. Okay. How did you feel about her relationship with all of her friends? Like, especially Renee, her like main gal pal. Like, did you love it? Did you like feel a connection with it?
Yeah, it seemed really good. She seemed more like a sister to me than but then again, I'm an only child. I have some girlfriends that are very much like that. So for me, it's very relatable that you would have like that possessive friend. Renee kind of is closed-lipped about something that Robert's keeping from Magnolia, and part of me is like, okay, I can see the protectionism angle, but the other part of me was a little pissed off with her.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, like you should just let your girl know, right? Yeah,
but then at the same time, it would have been really bad, because like the story would not have been possible, right? Because she would have told her, and then she would have thought Robert was it, and she would have been with Robert at the beginning. And these 4 years of her daughter being alive, like Brody coming back, she would have been like, oh, it's just a guy I slept with like 4 years ago. Like there would have been no conflict there. It would have just been like,
that's true,
right? So
but there's girl code.
The logistics has to come in. I gotta be like logical.
That's true.
Don't ruin the romance.
Don't ruin it. Yeah,
I wish that Renee.
What's that voice, Kermit? Like I'm all over the map today.
We're just a walking TikTok channel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Last week, 2 weeks ago now, it was Stacy and the Capybara song.
Yeah. Capybara.
Now it's gonna be stuck in everybody's head listening to this.
Yep.
And then I moved to the Justin Bieber refrigerator one.
Oh, but
or the microwave. It was the microwave. It was microwave. Refrigerator. That's my own version.
Alexandria, how did you feel about her gal pals? Did you like them, love them?
I agree. I definitely liked her. There was definitely that conflict of having her hold this secret for so long. But again, like I looked at it as the plot, and I was like, she had to keep it a secret, or else it would have been a gong show. Like she never would have had the relationship she had with Brody. He wouldn't even have been a second thought. Even like how would have Magnolia have found out that Robert wasn't actually the dad. Like, how would have she have ever found out that lie, right? So it would have been like again, it could have been really dramatic, a whole other angle. But I think that it was a good thing that she held it in and didn't tell her.
Yes. On that note too, I was just thinking about poor Robert. I feel like we need to see him have a bit of a love story or something, you know?
Well, that's what I'm curious about. I don't know if he has a book. That's what I'm literally going to ask Willow that, because I'm very genuinely curious if Robert has a story or if he's getting a story. So, because like
that would be nice to see.
That
He
would be
deserves
nice.
love.
he
Yeah.
deserves romance.
But they kind of ended it with the guy at the shop?
Yes. Which
Rudy?
came out of nowhere. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
With who was like Robert was crashing on his couch sometimes.
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah. And then one of her friends that went into the wedding. Yeah, there was some. Alexandra's going to get her book.
Yeah.
Right now.
No, I'm doing a search right now. Do we
Yeah.
remember what No, because Willow has more small town romances. So that's why I'm just trying to figure out if he is also in this one. Right? My brain.
Oh,
I don't
remember
remember his name. It wasn't Asher, was it? No, I don't think so, right?
That's kind of familiar, actually.
Actually,
I don't
yeah.
remember.
Okay, wait. Give me it. Well, and the problem is this one's a mechanic, so that's where you said shop, and I'm kind of like, wait, was it him? Like,
Oh, it was a mechanic shop, I think.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
I really
Like,
like
Willow's gonna smack me and be like, woman, how did you not know this? I'll be like, sorry, Willow.
I really love the male friendships too. Like I loved how in the end Brody and Robert were friends. Like Robert had a good friend, the mechanic guy. Like it was a story about love but also friendships. It was nice.
I agree.
Okay, what was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene. I think when they went boating and it was kind of like their I think maybe second time hanging out, Brody and Magnolia, and they were all like nervous and I could really picture that scene. Like it was really vivid to me. I liked it.
What about you, Alexandria?
I found out the name was Griffin, so we were wrong. So now we have to ask Willow if Robert's getting a story or if the other friend's getting a story. Unless I'm wrong. We'll find out in 2 minutes.
Exactly.
My favorite scene. Ooh. Honestly, I like the moment when we found out that Brody was the dad. Like, I think that was just, I was so happy.
Or when they're at the restaurant and then it's and by the end of the meal, the little girl was sitting on Brody's side drawing with him.
Oh my god, okay, yes, actually that was a good moment too. And we're at the park, yeah, there was a lot of good moments. I feel like
as soon as you knew it was Brody, you could breathe and enjoy.
Our girl Willow is here, so I'm going to
I need to get my questions back up.
add her.
Hello. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good.
How are you?
I'm I'm frazzled, stressed, and happy, all at the same time.
So to give some background, Willow's working on a book right now, and she's on a deadline, so she is trying to get that shit done.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And
And
we're just giving you a break.
I am perpetually behind all the time, but I'm literally like tonight or tomorrow it will be done. So I'm super happy, but just high energy, very high energy.
I believe in you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So Willow, this is Sophia. So this is our podcast colleague. Sophia, this is Willow. Crazy that you're meeting someone that you just read.
I know. It's so nice to meet you.
It's nice to see you.
Awesome. So Willow, welcome to She Comes First. So we have a few questions for you, and we were just having a whole dilemma right now. And you can full on punch me in the head if I don't know this, because I'm I feel like I should know this. But Robert, does he have a book?
He will. He doesn't right now, but he absolutely will. Yes.
Okay, so I knew that. I was on the nose. I was I don't think Willow, because I'm I know all of your books, and I'm pretty sure I own every single one of them. So I was like, oh my god,
he will though. I think he needs his own book. I definitely, yeah.
We were thinking the same thing. We were because he had so much redemption. We're all talking. We're book one, we struggled with him. We were
we hated him, right?
Yes, we were get out of here, Robert. We don't want you. And then book two, we were crap. He needs a redemption. He needs a love story.
Yeah, I wanted book one to be like all Brody's book. It's Brody. And then book two, and the reason that I went for more of that, the two people on the bench that are really young, I wanted it to be more of her and Robert and kind of showing how there was real love there. It's just, sometimes it's just not meant to be in this life. So Yeah, so I'm glad you guys felt that way. But he will get his happily ever after. I think everybody deserves a happily ever after, as long as I don't kill him in a book.
Which like Willow has done. So like,
Yeah, I have offed a few characters in my day. So
Oh my god.
Sophia, this is your first Willow book. We can go down. Willow writes from like A to Z. She has a lot of different tropes and lots of different like streams that we can go to. Don't worry, I'll get you there. I'll get you to dive into Willow's world. Don't worry.
yes, we had a lot of unaliving in this current book that I'm writing. So it's much darker than Tequila Rose.
I'm starting them off really easy. So Stacy, she's our like producer right now. She's doing behind the scenes. But she like they're both newbies to romance. So I brought them into our world gradually. So now they're kind of stuck with it because I'm like, you guys aren't leaving now. Like it's addicting. So now
it really is addicting.
Right. So I was like, now we have to do Willow. Like you have to do Queen Willow. Like we have to step into that world. So
thank you.
That's why we did the Tequila Rose duet, because
it's a very easy one to start with. It's like it's a very gentle book. I think the only one that might be even more gentle is Knocking Boots, just because it's shorter and there's no love triangle. And some people don't like, yep, right there, Knocking Boots.
Yeah. So maybe that one should be on our list for soon to read.
Oh yeah, that one. And I also think that we should do A Little Bit Dirty, even though I've already read it, but like very fantastic too.
That is in the same world.
Okay, that's what I thought. See?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's just not Robert's book. I'm sorry?
Of the one that we just read.
Yes.
It's in the same.
Yeah.
Okay, that one next then. Because whenever I like get attached to characters, I'm like, I need to know everything about all of them.
You gotta have all the Easter eggs. Like you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll get into our questions then, because it's super exciting. I know we're all excited.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration behind this book? Like what brought the Tequila Life duet to life?
So there's a country song. And for the life of me, I was trying to think of it the other day. I was over at my friend Lauren's house, and our friend Natalie was there, and she kept singing this song. And like, I just started thinking, like, what song is it? It's something where it's a love song between a man and a woman, but I could just imagine a man singing it to a baby and knowing that he's not her father. Like, and it just like, it was Robert's position that really like manifested the book into being, because it was very like it pulled on my heartstrings, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it every time that stupid song came on. And then I just started thinking, okay, well, what would the heroine be like? And here I'm just thinking, like, as I'm walking in circles or trying to go to bed, like wasn't anything serious. And then it flooded. And I was like, okay, now I have to write it. So
right. And that's so funny that you mentioned that, because that Stacey just connected this book, she said, Last Night by Morgan Whale. And so we played a clip of it, because right at the song, it starts with last night we let the liquor talk. And we were like,
oh, that's more Brody. But yeah.
Right. So we were like, and that's what Stacey said. She's like, this entire song is Brody. And we were like, yes.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a good one too. And I like the music. Music just, I'm telling you, always has to be involved in books.
Yes.
So I know the answer to this question, but what is your writing practice?
It's chaotic right now. So I always have water with me, and I always have my earplugs. I used to sit cross-legged on my sofa, like hunched over and writing, and it was horrible for my back. So I'm slowly getting used to being at a desk and sitting more upright. I'm slowly adjusting to having like something that's not going to destroy me physically. And I also used to write really, really late at night. And I would be up till like 3 or 4 in the morning. And then I had a baby 2 years ago, and he messed my entire schedule up. So now I'm actually writing during the day while the kids are at school, and just getting it out of me, which is why I still have that chapter left. And I'm thinking it's going to be tomorrow, not tonight, because I cannot stay up late like I used to. But yeah, it with the family, it has changed so very much. But I just, whenever I can, I just get my computer, get my earplugs, and go somewhere where mommy isn't going to be said 5 times in the next 10 minutes.
Do you ever write out of the house then, or do you always write in your house?
So I've written so I basically never leave my house. I'm very much a homebody, but I have, and I love to write on planes. I always get a window seat. And again, I sit cross-legged in that, and I put the little table down and everything, and I'll hunch over, and I've written a ton on planes. I actually love it. I don't know if it's just the white noise and literally nobody saying mommy, or what it is, but I love writing on planes. And I've also written on trains too. So when I'm going to a signing, I'll often just put in my earplugs and write while I'm on my way.
That is so cool. Planes and trains. Huh.
Yes. Quiet spaces.
It's where the peace, you can find some peace a little bit. Well, now your office, it's in your attic. So now you get a little bit of peace.
Yes, much more peaceful. I do need a window because I like candles up there. Oh, here's one that is new for me. I've gotten the little orange taper candles because it's supposed to be orange, is supposed to be good for focus. So I'll light the candle now. And if a candle is lit, I must write because it's like 40 minutes it takes for that candle to burn out. So it's my timer now is lighting an orange candle. But I literally don't even have a window up there. And I'm like, I'm going to like smoke myself out. Like I need a window.
You need the window right behind you. I know, because that's where your desk is at the end. So Sophia, just for background, Willow's in like her attic is the triangle, and she made that entire space her office, and her desk is there. But there's like a blank wall that would be perfect for a window there.
It's that, and that's what it will be. I'm in the lower office right now, but the stairs, that is my attic up there. You climb the library stairs to go up to the attic. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
That is
I love
amazing. That is goals.
It is awesome. I remember when Willow started working on it, we were all like, oh my God, that is so cool.
I'm so close to being done. And the weather is finally nice. So I'm like, come back, finish. Like they have to finish the baseboard and the window, which they're going to do. And the window, it's just a 2 foot by 2 foot, but they're going to do shelving as well and paint the whole wall teal. And then I'm going to have antique books on it. So I'm like, please just come back and finish my window so I can finish this and be done with it.
And then you'll have a space for writing all the time.
Yes. Like my own little writing den. I'm excited.
I love that. Okay, let me go. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my list of questions. Oh, what were you hoping the reader would experience while reading the Tequila Rose duet?
I wanted them to feel the heartstrings. I wanted them to see the shades of gray. I definitely wanted them to feel like a little frustrated with Magnolia and not understanding like, hey, there's this great guy, dump that guy. I wanted you to feel the turmoil of like first love and how you can fall in love with a friend, but it's just not there. And a lot of love triangles will make one person a villain. Like there's a twist and he turns out to really be the bad guy. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I was like, I want you to love all of them and to feel her pain and her struggle and just have the same decision as her though, where you're like, well, this is what's best for her right now. And maybe in a different life, it would have been different, but they've got to go their separate ways. So yeah.
I was almost waiting for that moment too, where you like hated Robert. Like I was like waiting to hate him, and I was like, I love him even more by the end.
That makes me so happy.
I can agree there, Sophia. The entire time in book 1, I was like, screw you, Robert. And then by book 2, I was like, damn it. I was like,
I know, right?
No.
Yeah. And that's where that was that feeling with that song where I kept imagining like this man, like taking care of the baby and loving the baby, but knowing like, I'll never be your father. Like, and I got to figure out what song it is, but this was literally years and years and years ago. So whenever it pops up on the radio, I'll like scream and I'll call Alex and be like, Alex, it's this one. It's this one.
Please do.
Yeah.
Definitely. That was definitely the book. Cause that was one thing I struggled with. Cause like, with Magnolia, I was like, why do you keep going back to Robert? Like retreat. But then it was also like, in the book 2, you're like, crap. You're like, he has a heart. And that was the part. Willow tends to make you like a trope, even though you're like, so like love triangle. I don't like love triangles. But then I read this one and I was like, damn it, like there can be both good guys. Like I was like, shit.
I've only written 2 love triangles and I actually wrote them at the same time. What I Would Do for You, that trilogy, I was writing that while I wrote Tequila Rose. So like I know, right? I'm like, I guess I was really in the mood for a love triangle I was pregnant with Cody. So maybe he likes love triangles. But What I Would Do for You is exceptionally dark and it's a serial killer and an FBI agent. So it's completely different, but at the same time, I wanted the same thing with that, where it's a lot of gray. There's a whole lot of gray.
Oh yeah, there is, Sophia, another great book. I read that one years ago now. I read it around Christmas and I was like, okay. Sure. I got, but that was another one where you were like,
yeah.
Like, you didn't know who you liked more. You were like, shit. Like,
I like to make it hard on the reader. Like, I love everyone.
Willow throws us like basically takes us and just like smacks us against the wall like 400 times and being like, feel all the emotions.
Yes. Yeah. That's always what I aim for. I remember in high school, one of my teachers said, if a book makes you feel, it's a good book. So I always aim to make readers feel, but at the same time, I hated that. I was like, I feel anger that I had to read this. Like that is the feeling that I have. So I disagreed with her at the time, but I appreciate the advice.
I feel that. Yeah. After going through an English degree, I'm like, I hate all these books. Stop making me read this now. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So last question. Why did you choose a small seaside town as your setting? Like, why was that the direction?
Well, so there's an oak tree in that actual town. So it's a fictitious version of that town, but there is an oak tree in that town that it's inspired by, and it's a promise tree, like true, like if you make a promise under the tree, which is what they do, Robert and her, in that ending scene. Yeah. So I was like, I wanted something different, something like with really good atmosphere and very like quainty. And Chesapeake City is also very close to where I live. Sean and I often go there. It's in Maryland, not Delaware, but we go there for like little dates and everything. And everything is right on the water. So it's kind of similar in terms of vibes. And I can just go there and have like just a little moment where I can feel inspired. So yeah, so that's why I went with and instead of the tri-state area, which is where all of my dark romances are all set. So I was like, give me something new. I need something light and warm, and yeah.
And maybe that's where Robert's story can start. Maybe it's going to be by that tree where he meets his next love.
Oh, maybe it could be. It could be. Renee's story is up next, though. She's the one that I'm writing now. It's called Kiss Me in This Small Town, and I'm really excited for it.
Wait, Willow, how many books are you writing right now?
Hold on. So I'm focused on Then Your Mind, and I have been for the last 2 weeks entirely, and I'm almost done it. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other tabs open. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, whenever I get like a little bit of inspiration, I just run and write it, but I'm limiting it to just those 5 books right now.
Just 5.
You're limiting it to 5. That's amazing. What was the most you've ever had going at once? Like, have you done more than 5?
Well, I kind of screwed myself over in the beginning because I would get inspired and I would start to write it and I would like empty out my head basically. And then something else would come up. So I'd start it and I'd write it and something else. And I would keep going like that. And I was like, I can't, like, I have to stop. So for the longest time, I wouldn't write any of these ideas down. But after this book, I only have 1 book on pre-order. And I told Sophie, I said, I want to just let my muse run. I want to just like not be on a deadline, not have to write this book right now. Like part of the reason I wrote Tequila Rose Duet is because What I Would Do for You, that trilogy was so heavy and I was pregnant. So I'm writing about a serial killer and an FBI agent and all these very triggering things. And I'm like waddling to my desk, like, I hope this doesn't affect you, baby boy. So I was like, and I've always had a deadline and I've always had pre-orders for 4 or 5 years now. So I was like, I just want to see what happens if I let my muse go. And immediately I started writing a retelling, which I'm really excited about. And I have a dragon romance I'm writing. And then I have my paranormal that is on pre-order. And then I'm also wanting to go back to some other worlds. So like the Valetti world and write Clara's story, which is a long time coming. It's literally outlined. I just need to sit down and actually write them. I wish I could just pause time and be like, okay, I'm going to write now. And like, it would be fine. And I can go about my day afterwards because my day takes up too much time. I don't have enough writing time.
I feel that.
If only I could just like pluck them out. It would be so nice. I would be so
throw
happy.
them at a screen and just have it write itself.
Yes. Oh, like AI. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That, what's it called? CP chat or
Chat GPT. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So that it could read your thoughts. Like, this is what I want.
Yeah, right? This is where the book needs to go. Make it happen. Like, I don't want to have to deal with anything. Go.
Yeah, just to get it out. Like literally just stream it out of my head. That would be amazing. Yeah.
Imagine, but I think everyone would start writing and then it'd be a little bit difficult. And I'd be like, oh God. Like,
yeah. We would also know a lot more about our neighbors, like real fast.
True.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Sophia, do you have any other questions?
I don't think so, but now I need to go read a a darker book, I think. But okay, so when you say you write like the dark romance, I think that's what you called it. Is it like gonna give me nightmares scary or an Alex? Okay, no.
I don't think so. It's mostly
Okay.
hot. I mean,
It's
yeah,
yeah, like it's hot. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
It's
it's
just like
mostly
it's questionable.
hot.
Okay.
Yes, they're just very morally gray. Very, very morally gray.
Yeah.
I don't know what
You
like
always
the
play with the
initial
gray.
dark one. Do you have any triggers? You might find your triggers actually.
I don't currently have any, but maybe after.
Most people like my most popular, my bestseller, but also my most polarizing is All He'll Ever Be, which
It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling.
yeah, in a mafia setting where he kidnaps the enemy's daughter to start a war. So
It's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one I feel like that should be your first dark by Willow because I
Okay.
love that
Yeah.
book.
Alexandria knows me. She'll know if I get too scared.
You won't get scared. It is just perfect.
they said, doesn't Sophia have a trigger to tape or turkey?
Yeah, I'm allergic to turkey.
She also just doesn't like turkey. And then isn't it? I thought it was cotton balls.
Oh, cotton balls. I hate the feeling of cotton balls.
Well, I can
What about
assure you
the-
there's no torturing with cotton balls. So you're
Okay,
gonna
that would actually be perfect.
not yet.
I mean,
Not yet.
in
Maybe I'll write
romance, I was
something.
gonna say in romance, anything could happen realistically.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no cotton balls or turkey.
Cotton balls or turkey. Perfect. But oh, that sounds cool. I'm intrigued.
Don't worry, I have it here. I can lend it to you. You just have to keep it in perfect condition.
I was gonna say I don't know about borrowing your books, Missy.
But I have almost all of Willow's books, so like
I would be surprised if you're missing any. And if you
I
are,
would be
just tell me.
surprised too. I would be
Yeah.
I'd be messaging you and Sophie and being like, I'm missing a book.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. And if anything else, Sophia, I know that this is your first time meeting an author, so I don't know if you have anything else that comes to mind.
I don't think so. This was so cool just to like get to like talk to you, like meet the person whose words I just
Wrote it. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm happy to be here and chat about it. It makes my heart happy to remember all those good things too.
oh,
Right. And it's been so long since you wrote these ones too. So it's also like bring it all back to the front of your brain.
I need to remember. I will remember that song and I will tell you.
Yeah.
I will.
I'm gonna just like wait for it. It's gonna be some random ass day and it's just gonna be a random ass time. You're gonna be like, this is the song. And I'm gonna be like, okay.
Or I'm gonna wake up at like 4 a.m. with the lyrics and like run to the computer. What song is this? Yeah.
That's more accurate for you. I feel like that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I'm not the best sleeper, but it's also when I get all my ideas. So
So it's hit and miss kind of thing.
exactly.
There's good and bad there. You don't get sleep, but also book ideas.
Yeah.
I'll take it. It's an even exchange. I'll take it.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Willow, for coming on to our podcast and being our first author and like special guest. I'm
Thank you
sure
for
I
having
feel
me.
like it won't be the last time we have you on here. If I can get them to read some dark romance, then you know I will.
I will be right back for that. Yeah.
Because I feel like all he'll ever be, you guys, all he'll ever want, you guys will have so many questions and it'll be fantastic.
I'm here for that. I will be right back. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mom.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
guys.
much.